Pronouns are words that replace nouns. Instead of repeating the noun again and again, we use pronouns. In this sentence, Mark paints pictures for a living. He is a professional painter. Over here in the second sentence, he is a pronoun. We have not repeated the noun Mark again. So he is referred to as a pronoun. So now what is a relative pronoun? When the pronoun relates to the noun, we call it a relative pronoun, which means in a single sentence that has got more than one clause, there would be a main clause and a subordinate clause. And when the subordinate clause, which is the clause that is dependent on the main clause, relates to the subject of the sentence, which is in the main clause, then we call it a relative pronoun. Mark, who is a professional painter, paints pictures for a living. So over here, who is a professional painter? Here, who is the relative pronoun that relates to the subject in the main clause. The main clause over here is Mark. So Mark is being referred to in the subordinate clause. So the subordinate clause starts with the relative pronoun, which is who. In this case, it may be referred to as a relative clause. Relative pronouns introduce relative clauses. The relative pronouns are who, whom, which, that, where, when, etc. Now that we have understood what the relative pronouns are, let's move on to the next subject, which is the types of relative clauses. There are two types of relative clauses. They are restrictive clauses and non-restrictive clauses. Restrictive clauses, as the name suggests, limits the meaning of the sentence. It narrows down the meaning of a sentence. Non-restrictive clause refers to a clause where the meaning is not narrowed down, which means even if we omit the clause, the sentence structure remains meaningful. The meaning does not change. Whereas in a restrictive clause, when the clause is removed, the whole sentence meaning is changed. It makes a difference to the meaning of the sentence.
This is the shirt, which I have been searching, that was lost. Non-restrictive clause.
This is the shirt which I've been searching for that was lost. So here we've got a non-restrictive clause, which means even if you remove the clause, the sentence still makes sense.
I am glad that I have found it. Restrictive clause.
I am glad that I have found it. This is a restrictive clause.
You can wear it when you go for a meeting. Restrictive clause.
You can wear it when you go for a meeting. So over here, when is used to refer to a particular time, that is when she goes for a meeting, and it is a relative clause. The candidates who have reached can attend the interview. This is a restrictive clause, and here we have not used any commas. When there are no commas used to separate the clause, then we say that it's a restrictive clause. When we remove this clause from the whole sentence, then the sentence meaning is altered. This sentence implies that the candidates who have reached, which means a few of the candidates have reached to attend the interview, and there are still more yet to attend. So here you can say that this clause is restricting the meaning of the sentence. The candidates who have reached can attend the meeting. In this sentence we have used commas, and the meaning implies that all the candidates have reached the meeting and they are asked to attend the interview. So here it is referred to as a non-restrictive clause. This sentence, even if the clause is removed, which means who have reached, the meaning is not changed. Yoga, which is practiced by many, is a form of discipline originated in ancient India. So over here the clause is non-restrictive in nature, which means even when if I remove the clause, the sentence meaning does not change. It would just be yoga is a form of discipline originated in ancient India. This dish, which is easy to make, was taught by my mom. So over here, we've got a non-restrictive clause, which means This clause is not essential for the meaning of the sentence. Even if you remove it, it would be, this dish was taught by my mom. The boy who was wearing the black cap was asked to dance. So here we have got a restrictive clause. Who was wearing a black cap? It's the clause that defines or narrows down the meaning of the sentence. We are talking about a particular boy. The students who have their masks are permitted to enter the park. Here, this sentence is also restrictive in nature because we are narrowing down the meaning of the sentence. And when the relative clause is removed from this sentence, it does not make sense. Linda, who finished her work, left early. So over here, this is a non-restrictive clause. Even if you don't mention that she had finished her work early, it would still make sense. It would just be, Linda left early. The black shoes whose sole is white looks beautiful. Over here, whose is the relative pronoun that is used to refer back to the shoes. It is a possessive pronoun. And here it is a restrictive clause. This place is where the cars are parked. This is a restrictive clause because we are limiting the meaning of the sentence. Where is the relative pronoun that is used to refer to a place. When is used to refer to a time.